Yeah, without a doubt.
Welcome to the All Funk No Bunk podcast, guys. Welcome to the Cannabasics episode for this week. I am the Desert Hippie on Instagram. This is my partner.
And you can find me on Instagram at Bearded Dabber Reviews.
Yeah.
You can also find me at The Bearded Dabber everywhere else.
Nick and Noah at it again.
Today, we're going to be doing cannabinoids on our Cannabasics episode. And it's a short little brief basic touch on what they are. They are the easiest way to explain it to someone that has no idea what cannabinoids are. They are a naturally occurring chemical found in cannabis. They are also found in humans as phytocannabinoids.
Right.
And
why is that, Nick? Because we produce them in our own
That's what
bodies.
I'm saying. Naturally, ourselves.
Yes.
We have these things in us already.
Yeah.
Just in very trace amounts, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we make these on our own already. And it just so happens that the cannabis plant makes them as well. In abundance.
Right.
You can grow it and have pounds and pounds of it.
All you need.
Yeah, exactly. So, essentially, when you're consuming cannabis, all you're really doing is kind of like taking a supplement. Like when you take, vitamin D tablets or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. Your body has essentially a way of absorbing these cannabinoids into a system and helping your body, and it really just helps regulate all of your
we will do
functions.
Yeah, and we'll do another Cannabasics episode on the system itself. But but I just want to make sure that you understood that correctly when he said it. We have a system in us already, a full system in us that is meant for cannabinoids.
Right.
That's perfectly designed for it.
And the most common ones are going to be CBD and THC. That's
not only are they the most common to us right now, at least with our grows and whatnot, but they're also what we understand the most right now.
Absolutely.
What there's the most science on and the most
research.
The most research and also the most anecdotes on, because there are a lot of people just like smoking CBG. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna touch mostly on CBD and THC, and then we might list a couple other ones off just so you know what they are.
Right.
So you
and
understand.
We might touch on those later when we have more info on them. But right now, we're just gonna go over the main points and the stuff you need to know as a beginner.
So we'll start with THC because I think that one's the quickest and easiest one to do. Yeah. It's the most, we'll say the most psychoactive one.
Right.
I'm not going to say that there won't be anything else in the cannabis plant that's psychoactive, but it's the most psychoactive.
It's what the most part,
gets you high.
You're high. Yeah.
So, it's really good for pain.
Absolutely.
Really good for pain.
Absolutely.
And it's really good for that high feeling. So if you're looking for a head change,
for that euphoria,
exactly. That's what THC is for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it's also, like I said, it's good for pain, and it absorbs into your body well. You know what I mean? It's really it's good for you.
It's very bioavailable, and it absorbs into your fat, so it's very easy for your body to just take that right in and use it in a proper way.
And also, too, just a perfect example how good it can be for your body besides just like pain and getting you high, right? There's also a small amount of research, at least a very small amount, that suggests at least that it's good for cancer as well. That's just one example of things. Right. So it can be good for other things as well besides just getting you high and being good for pain.
Stimulating your appetite.
That's what I'm saying.
Off the bat.
So there are other health benefits, that THC comes. But just the most popular uses of THC is getting you high and pain.
Right.
We'll move on to CBD.
Yes,
and that's what you're finding everywhere.
Everywhere.
And in a very basic sense, too, I just want to say, just be careful of what you buy.
Yes.
I think you should stick to licensed dispensaries.
Please.
Or at least brands with lab testing.
Yep. That's fine if you want to get it not from a dispensary, but make sure they have their stuff tested.
Yeah, exactly.
And make sure it's some type of third-party test. If it's just their test,
they can say whatever they want. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So make sure, as long as they're third-party testing, it's a good, it's most likely a good thing.
Quick side note, Leafly did do a study where they took like 50 CBD products, and I'm pretty sure it was something like 98% of them had either more or less or no CBD than they had stated on their label.
So 1 of 50.
Like yeah. Literally. Yeah. So, just as an example, be careful. Go to your licensed dispensary. But CBD in itself is
once again, naturally occurring chemical.
Absolutely.
That you'll find in nature and in our bodies already.
Yeah. And it's not responsible for getting you high. It's more an anti-inflammatory. It's more of a vitamin because of the way it interacts with that system we talked about. That system regulates
so many things.
Yeah,
system helps regulate so many things inside of you. And like we said, we'll go over that later, all of the different things. But it does help regulate a lot of other things in your body. So when we say that like CBD is good for, anti-aging or something like that, it's not necessarily because the CBD itself goes right to the spot and does it. It has an effect on you through that system that helps your body be healthy. You know what I'm saying? It helps to create homeostasis.
Yes. Thank you. Homeostasis. That's really the best, most basic way to think about CBD. You're helping your body balance back out to homeostasis. It boosts your immune system, essentially.
Which is your healthiest self.
Yes.
I mean, when your
body is fully balanced.
At complete homeostasis, that is when your body is in perfect balance. All the right chemicals it needs, all of the right gut bacteria, all of the right blood flow, all of the right everything.
Yes.
That's homeostasis. Yes. When your body is in complete harmony and you are a healthy person.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. And
CBD really helps that happen.
Really helps. And it's not something you take and then you feel the effects crazy right away. It's something you take as a vitamin, a supplement. It builds up in your system.
Yeah, it's like a multivitamin for you every day.
It helps your system.
Exactly.
And eventually you get these benefits over time.
Your body will balance itself out over time with the supplementing of CBD in your system.
Absolutely.
It will start to balance the scales. It'll start to create the correct chemicals in the right places. Naturally, it'll start to do all of the things it's been needed to do this whole time.
And most of what I see when people realize it was helping them is when they've taken it for 2 months and they've been like, this isn't doing anything. And they go off of it after that long period of time. And after a day or two, they instantly
are like, oh yeah, this is what life was like before I took it.
Yeah, because it's subtle.
I forgot.
Slow,
it's so subtle that
it's helping. It always is.
Exactly. And the longer you take it, the better you'll feel, I think. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I think 2 months is great, but I think if you've been taking CBD religiously for 3 years,
anything. When you're talking about vitamins and those type of things, consistency is always the key for sure. And it makes a difference. And it's no different with CBD on this one, as long as it's good CBD. And again, that just goes back to making sure it's lab tested stuff. That's the biggest thing with
And then the only other thing that I wanted to touch on in the Cannabasics episode, I think, would be real shortly just touching like dosing. Just very quickly.
Right, absolutely.
So with those cannabinoids at least.
Yes.
If you're going to be dosing them, specifically just those cannabinoids, which I think you'd find mostly like in edibles and tinctures. If you're going to be dosing just those specific isolated cannabinoids, you know what I mean? Because like in flower, you find so many other things. But if you're dosing just those specific, cannabinoids, they're using isolates and stuff, And for both, I think it would be really smart to start out for both cannabinoids, THC and CBD. It would be smart to start out, I don't know, like 5 milligrams.
5 milligrams. I agree, 100%.
And see how you feel.
And as a beginner, if you're going that route, there are ratios. And I just want to jump into this real quick. There's usually 2-to-1s and 1-to-1s with. When you add CBD to THC, it mellows out the high. It's just not as intense. It's like THC is like having a shot, where as adding CBD into it is more like having a beer. It's a more mellow, mild experience. It's just not as intense. Not that I necessarily love the alcohol comparison, but it's just a good example.
Exactly.
So when you have a 2-to-1, it's very mild, and I recommend you beginners try that out when you're trying to get introduced to THC, because it's a good mellow experience, and then jump to your 1-to-1, which is meant more for sleep and
so
kind
the
of
2-to-1 is for basics.
Thank you.
For the 2-to-1 is 2 parts CBD, 1 part THC.
Yeah.
So there's twice as much CBD found in there as you will THC.
Thank you.
And that is, as he said, more of a mellower, health beneficial, I would say kind of daytime even maybe, because
more
you're
social
feel less,
anxiety.
Yeah, and I think mostly because you're going to feel less of that euphoric high or whatever.
Right.
And some people don't want that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially during the day while you're doing things and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's really good for, that kind of, it is for pain relief kind of, but it's also really great for like you said, the more of like the mental like anxieties and social, all that kind of stuff. And then the one-to-ones, like you were saying,
just working yourself up into more
usually
THC.
a little more. And in most people's experience, like we said, because not everything's the same for everybody.
Sure.
But in most experiences, I think the one-to-ones are a little more sleepy, I think, too.
Yeah.
For most people, bedtime. And then also they're really great for the pain.
Yeah.
Really, really great for pain.
Yep.
If you're able to get that much THC into your system and not feel uncomfortable, going about your day and stuff like that, I mean, it's a really good thing for pain, for sure.
Yeah, for people already that have that high pain tolerance, too,
exactly.
It's a good place to start because the 2-to-1's very mellow. It really is. So, when you're coming in new, it's a great place to kind of test the waters. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's it, guys.
That's it, yeah.
Thanks for joining this Cannabasics episode this week on cannabinoids. All funk, no bunk, baby. Love having you guys here.
Without a doubt.